Hi friends, this is Vikrant Joshi. Sorry, coming here after a very long time. And as you can see on this screen, I have a colleague and he's a senior journalist, Abba Marker. And many of you all many of you all had complained that Vikrant, you just go on and on with topics, and why don't you make it like an interview kind of thing? So I've asked Abba to ask me questions because a lot of things have happened in the past 15 days in Maharashtra. In fact, there has been a turmoil, as you can say. And the politics is all about it. And I was abroad, unfortunately, but I've come back. And since last 3, 4 days, I was here. I was there for the swearing-in ceremony of the new government. And I was there at the 2-day legislative assembly also, where the floor test came, where the vote of confidence was won by the Shinde government. And we had a new government. So I was there. So I asked Abba, well, Abba, can you help me? Because the people who watch me, they want it as a question answer format.
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
Thanks, Abba. Can you ask me?
Just ask me. Vikrantji, my first question is, what has happened in Maharashtra in last 15 days? Please elaborate.
A lot has happened. Unfortunately, I was traveling and you all couldn't see my video for past a month or so because I was traveling for 10, 15 days, but it is my fault that I was not able to, you guys couldn't see me because my father, I just got him, to do one interview, and he loved this medium so much that he was like, okay, now you come, don't come. I'm doing every interview now. And so that's why you could see all VikrantJoshi, if you see the videos. My father is, addicted to this new format of media, what I introduced to him. Like, okay, he's enjoying, he should do it. He's much more experienced than me, much more seasoned than me. So then many things happened, and I thought I should make a comeback now. And Abba, coming to a question.
Yeah.
A lot of things have happened, believe me. And I'll give you stepwise how it happened. So what happened exactly? When in the last 15 days, when the MLC elections results were declared, so I guess it must have been 15 days now. That night itself, Eknath Shinde and Uddhav Thackeray ke government ka neta, cabinet minister, took along 25 MLAs with him of Shiv Sena, and boom, he was untraceable that night. In the morning, news channels started the news, flashing news that Eknath Shinde is unreachable, and so are another 20-25 MLAs. Fine. They went to Surat, as we all came to know, because of the location. And it was decided then and there that it's curtains for the Mahavikas Aghadi government. How it happened? I came back. I met Mr. Fadnavis with my father. Many of you all must have seen the photograph on Facebook and Twitter. I asked him a couple of, to be, more practical and to tell you all what all happened, I just went inside the room and I hugged him. Hugged him in the sense, not like the bear hug, but just a, sideways hug. And I just, I was holding his hand because I felt tremendously bad that he had to take the DCM shit. And Eknath Shinde was the CM. But what all happened? So I asked him, Vikrant, as usual, I'm not giving you any inputs. You need to go back to your sources because they are strong ones. And I know that you'll get authentic info. Immediately after the photo op thing, I clicked photo. I got baklava for him from Turkey. I gave it to him. I know he has high sugar, but still I gave it to him. And I came back. Next morning, 8 o'clock, I was at that source's house. I was like, boss, nothing doing. I need the information. Okay. So, hua kaise? All this, the coup is what I call it. Taking out 25 MLAs. For now 50 obviously, but that first day they had 25 MLAs with them. The planning has gone for 1.5 years, my friends. This is from horse's mouth, who was in this, whole operation. It was part of this operation. And believe me, only 4 people in this entire 1.5 years knew about it. The Prime Minister himself, Home Minister Amit Shah, Devendra Fadnavis and Eknath Shinde. I'll go to an extent to say not even Amrita Fadnavis, whose wife of Devendra Fadnavis, knew about anything of this sort happening. Such was the, meticulous planning and secrecy and everything. Okay, good. These guys plan. It took them 1.5 years to convince each and every MLA, to convince them that, look, this is not what we signed up for in Mahavikas Aghadi. If work of NCP and, Congress is getting done and Shiv Sena MLAs are getting ill-treated, and we have to sit in the cabinet who are responsible for bombing of Mumbai in 1993. And a direct relationship has been established. How can we sit in this cabinet? And what were the words of Balasaheb Thackeray? Eknath Shinde convinced them, Fadnavis convinced them. Slowly, it took 1.5 years to, convince the 40, 50 people, boss. In simple language, you can't even take one corporator, forget MLA, in broad daylight of Shiv Sena and Sharad Pawar into other side. It's impossible. They have the intelligence, they have their police. Anything can go wrong. And 3 members were elected for this whole operation. Devendra Fadnavis and Eknath Shinde didn't do it personally. To escort them from Mumbai that night of MLC election results, take them to Surat, later to Guwahati, then to Goa, and then to Mumbai. So this 3 panel included Mohit Kamboj, BJP Neta. Another one was Ravindra Chauhan, an MLA from Dombivli, ex-MLA. And MLA. And third one was Sanjay Kote. He's from Buldana district. All these 3 people handled the show. They took care of the, traveling and everything. All these 3 people had sent their own families elsewhere because they knew if we get caught, by God forbid, if we get caught, the family will also take a beating for that. You should be prepared. Samne kaun hai? There's Uddhav Thackeray, there's people are in government, they can do anything. All these guys went. And they came back, government form, Devendra Fadnavis took the press conference and with a large heart said, Eknath Shinde will be the CM. And I'll support the government from outside. I'll be the Sonia Gandhi. I was flabbergasted. I immediately, in a minute after the press conference, you can check the Twitter. My account is Joshi Vikrant75. I tweeted, Amit Almighty, and 2 exclamatory marks. And I got some 500-600 tweets and retweets and likes. What happened? Second minute I wrote, do not make Fadnavis go the Gadkari way. Those who understand politics, those who understand BJP or Maharashtra politics will understand the meaning of this tweet. Again, I got it. Next day, like a moron, I wrote an article, anti-BJP top brass. They are, cut-sizing Fadnavis big time. They don't want Fadnavis to go up. He's direct competition to them. It went viral. That night itself, I happened to meet Fadnavis, when I went with my father. He told me, Vikrant, that believe you me, you have made Amit Shah into a villain. You've made him into a villain, that Amit Shah and JP Nadda and Modi have done this. Why? That is not the case, my friend. You go to your source, he will tell you, he or she, and I did that. And yesterday I wrote a blog, The Untold Story of the Shinde Fadnavis coup. And it was brilliant. It has crossed some thousands of likes and shares. Anyways, the story was that Fadnavis was really unaware that he's going to be made the DCM. Then who convinced him? Okay, Shinde being the CM, decision was taken 1.5 years back, reader, my dear Prekshak or watchers. It was taken 1.5 years back. And guess who took that decision? It wasn't Modi, Prime Minister Modi. It wasn't Amit Shah. It wasn't Nadda. It was Fadnavis himself who took this decision that whenever time comes, Eknath Shinde will be the CM. Because Eknath Shinde wouldn't have dared to do all of this had he been offered the DCM post, the Deputy Chief Minister post. You understand, Abba?
Yeah.
It was Devendra Fadnavis who knew back of his head that boss meko agar CM banega to Shinde banega. That's about it.
Right. Vikrantji, my second question
one
is...
minute. One minute. So it was Fadnavis who had taken this decision. That Eknath Shinde will be the... but he not becoming the DCM. How did it happen? Why did he become the DCM? If he was in 1 hour, he said that I'll not be a part of the government. And second hour, he swears in as the Deputy CM. What happened in those 2 hours? I want to tell my audience that people say Prime Minister Modi called him personally that, look, Devendra, if you're not part of the system will, I don't have confidence. There are able players in BJP too who can be the DCM, who will be, ministers and all. But I want you, because you are the one who has given results from 2014 to 19. Right from winning a small local panchayat election to gram panchayat to municipal corporations, Fadnavis has proved it time and again in those 5 years as when he was the CM. And this system ke upar pakad jo rehta hai, that was necessary for Modi. This is what I'm guessing.
Right.
That's why he was on. So what did he do, Fadnavis? Fadnavis got confused after the press conference. He straight away called up his mom. Like in Marathi, obviously they spoke. I'll translate it for you in English. Like, mother, this is the thing. And I'm really upset. Mother said, yes, son, this is demotion. How will you face public? It will be humiliation. It will be humiliating for you. And she just said, okay, just go by the flow. 12:30 in the night, the mother called again. Like, Devendra, I gave a thought about it. And I want to tell you one thing. If Prime Minister Modi has called you and convinced you and told you something of this sort, that you should be the DCM, and you have accepted it, I'm telling you, Devendra, it is something much bigger in store for you. These were the words of Devendra's mother to Devendra Fadnavis. He said, yes, mother, I have accepted it, and I'm the DCM now of Maharashtra. All this happened. But it has taken a lot of courage, large-heartedness of Fadnavis to be in the government, except the deputy post to his CM. Now, that is it.
Yeah.
This is what all has happened. It was an emotional call by Modi and Fadnavis, who considers Modi as his father figure. Let me tell you, I know a bit more than many of you. Fadnavis considers Modi as his father figure. He has accepted what his father has done.
Right. My next question is, Fadnavis is not CM. Did you have a link, link?
So, what happened, as I said, when I came back, I wrote these tweets and blogs and, emotional drama happened and everyone was upset. Everyone, like right from Dhananjay Munde, who visited Fadnavis on the night of swearing in at 1 o'clock in the night. I had news about that. Even he had tears in his eyes. Look at the magnitude of Devendra Fadnavis. Even opposite camp people had tears in their eyes when it was announced that Devendra, when he swore in, like as the deputy CM. Everyone knows his capacity. Everyone knows how magnanimous he is. So, previous night, I got a call from a friend called Amber. He said, Vikrant, he lives in Amaravati. And if you all know, many of you all, Devendra's closest relatives, the real ones, stay in Amaravati. So this friend of mine went to their house, to the relatives' house of Fadnavis. Like, what time is your train? Tomorrow is the swearing in and we all have to go. The relatives declined. I said, no, this time we haven't been invited. And we aren't going because Devendra might not become the CM. He got the news and he's a very good friend of mine, very close friend of mine. He immediately called me, Vikrant, Fadnavis' relatives nahi hai. Fadnavis' relatives are not coming. I think there's something wrong. I shooed him away. I'm like, what? Nonsense. No one thought, right? Not even Chandrakant Dada Patil must have thought this. No one must have thought this. Like Fadnavis and not CM after being the game changer, after being the kingmaker. Said, yeah. I shooed him away. My mistake. But still, I called you guys and I told you, Abba, if you remember. Second, one NCP person, next day morning, the swearing is in the evening, like around 6, 7 o'clock at Raj Bhavan. Morning, 10 o'clock, I receive a call from a NCP guy, a big guy. He tells me, Vikrant, boss, confirm news. Fadnavis is not becoming the CM and it's Vikrant Shinde. I shooed him away too. Like, what nonsense. Cannot happen. Won't happen. I'm betting. But it took a U-turn. I had got the hint twice. I got information twice. But this has made me realize, never ever keep your news to yourself. They say, one very senior journalist has said, you never keep snake and news in your pocket. They might, bite you back. That's what happened. I wanted to be, everyone knows how a journalist is, for, breaking news ke liye bhuka. But I couldn't, unfortunately, that day. Even after knowing it. Okay, happens.
Yeah. My next question is, how was a 2-day assembly session?
Oh, assembly session, yeah. After the swearing in ceremony, I went for the assembly session. But before that, I would like to tell you all, many of you know that I live in the same building as Mohit Kamboj, who was part of this operation. And believe me, I've just shifted. My parents have just shifted. I don't stay, my parents stay, but I go to visit my parents every day. You won't believe, I meet Mohit every single day whenever he's in town. Not once. And I have a thing against Mohit now. I've told him this. He didn't even utter a single word about this whole operation post. Look at the loyalty Fadnavis enjoys. Look at the soldiers he has. I've met Mohit every single day. We've spoken only politics. This is happening, that is happening, this might happen. Never ever that man hinted to me that Vikrant, this is what Fadnavis enjoys. Anyways, coming back. Yeah, I went for the speaker election and I was a bit not very happy for Rahul Narvekar. He's too young to become, youngest in fact, to assume that chair. It's a very big chair and it's a very, he controls that speaker ka post is like, head of the family, head of the house. From there, he's going to run the government. He's going to control the opposition. He's going to control the government. But any decision, well, if everything goes my way, then to fir, I'll be Shah Rukh Khan. But it doesn't happen in politics necessarily. So that's what, the first day, the floor test went well. BJP got some 164 odd. Many NCP and Congress people remained absent. Why, I don't know. Sharad Pawar, thought should be given for this by Sharad Pawar and Uddhav Thackeray. Because Fadnavis mentioned in his speech, there was an invisible hand responsible for our government to form. So it's high time Uddhav Thackeray and Pawar should find out who that invisible hand was. Next day, floor test. Government wins comfortably, 164 against 99. Again, some 15, 16 Congress people reach late. Congress and NCP, Shiv Sena, they don't turn up. MIM and SP don't vote. ऐसा है, ठीक है.
So my
they should find out. They should find out. Yeah. No, one sec. So went well, but there is this congratulatory speeches which happen, after the CM has been elected. The vote of confidence is won. I loved what Ajit Pawar said. He was taunting and he was humorous. Barasab Thorat went well, but I didn't like what Bhaskar Jadhav said. He was, I don't know, it was out of jealousy, by the way, Bhaskar Jadhav was supposed to join BJP and the Shinde group, but it was Devendra Fadnavis who said a no to his name. Why? Because it was him who had mocked PM Modi in one of the interviews, one of the sessions whenever that happened. And he had said something really nasty things about PM Modi, Amit Shah, Fadnavis. Anyways, so that out of that anger, I think Bhaskar made those deadly speeches. But every one of you all should Google Mungan Tiwar's reply. Boss, he won my heart. Mungan Tiwar put everyone in their place. And then, of course, the show stealer was Fadnavis, and Vikrant Shinde was out of the world. I'll tell you one thing, Abba. I have started liking Sena. I don't know why. I never, because for me, Sena was only Thakres. And after Bala said, we all loved Thakres. I never loved BJP so much. Bala said, but after his death, I saw all this, the mess these other Thakres did. No. The respect, the love had gone. But now, after hearing Vikrant Shinde, and I keep my fingers crossed, if he behaves the way he talks, and if he really works the way he has promised, I'm telling you, Shiv Sena will again get that love back from many of us who have started disliking Sena. So that's about it.
Yeah. So, Vikrantji, my questions are over. Over to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, friends, I hope you like this, formal thing, question answer thing. And thanks, Abba, for coming and helping me out and asking questions, because the audience wanted it in such a way. Because I get diverted, I bring this, that, everything in the middle. But it's okay. Thanks a lot. And thank you, audience, for having the patience to watch me, and keeps watching the space for more off the record info. And believe me, I'm an anti-establishment journalist. So you will find, just because Devendra Fadnavis and Vikrant Shinde have come together, you will not find more of positive news. No, I'm an anti-establishment. Whatever goes wrong, it will come here. That's my promise to you. Thank you very much. And you have a good day and good day. Thanks. Bye.